to strangers. Now, I'm not telling you this to scare you, but just to remind you that, well, there are mean people in the world. My mother would tell me this like all the time, and let's just say I took it to heart. By the time I was 20, I had a whole laundry list of rules I invented to keep me safe. Don't go out at night. Don't go out alone. Maybe most days don't go out at all. Dress modestly so as to avoid unwanted attention. Stand up straight so you look like you know what you're doing. And above all, do not talk to strangers. There are mean people in the world. As you can imagine, this made it difficult for me to ever leave my comfort zone. So when I told my parents that I wanted to go study acting for the summer in Ireland, they were like, yes? Which really means, like, we're skeptical of this and that sounds expensive, but they helped me go. When I got to Dublin, I couldn't believe how perfect this place was for me. I was there with two other girls in the program. Some of you may know them, Kimberly and Amy, but for those of you who don't, Kimberly is like this super friendly Jimmy Fallon fanatic. And Amy is like this sarcastic baker with the voice of an angel. We were like a sitcom dream team. We spent all our time together going to museums that were hyper-educational, seeing more theater in 1 week in Dublin than we did in 3 months in Kennesaw. And then we would window shop the antique stores. You guys, Irish antiques make American antiques look like jelly bracelets from the early 2000s. Just saying. But there was this whole other part of Dublin that we hadn't looked into yet. Nightlife. So far, my idea of nightlife was getting an ice cream cone past 5 p.m. But when Hannah came to town, that all changed. Now, some of you may also know Hannah. She was a graduate of KSU. She also went to the Irish summer acting program. And then last summer, she just, like, moved to Ireland. Because when you're an adult, you can make those kinds of decisions. You go, girl. Hannah is what I would describe as, like, a lot. Like, a lot of cool clothes and a lot of big hair and a lot of personality and a hell of a lot of a good time. Sorry for swearing. But she was going to be the one to take us on our first Irish night out. So we started at a pub near the hostel called the Grand Social, which sounds very posh, but it was really what I imagine most bars in America look like. Dark, smoky, needlessly loud. And the girls ordered their drinks. And there's something you guys should know about me. I don't drink. Like, at all. And in a foreign country doesn't seem like the best place to start, but you guys, I was in Ireland, land of Guinness and Jameson, and I would feel so awkward going up to this bartender and being all like, can I get a water with lemon, please? So I don't. I get a Bulmers, which is a cider, which is good because I think ciders are supposed to have a lower alcohol content than other beverages, and this is good. Because the bartender hands me a cider, which is huge. So, we walk upstairs, where everybody's watching a football match. Very European. And we sit our drinks down at a communal table. We're flanked by strangers on either side, so I just cover my drink with my hands. Just in case a wee Irish roofie is flying through the air. I was more than a little nervous, but I still had a great time. We sat and talked about Ireland and theater and what it really means to be a woman in the world. And after 2 hours, I had done it. My first Irish pint, my first drink ever, mind you, and nothing bad had happened to me. I couldn't wait to go back to the hostel and journal about it. I was reaching for my purse, but then Hannah was all like, you guys want to go to Workman's? No, we did the thing. Whatever that is, I don't want to do it. But Kimberly and Amy were like, what's that? And of course, Hannah was like, well, Workman's is like this nightclub music venue owned by you two. I definitely don't want to do that. But Kimberly and Amy were all like, that sounds sounds like fun. And they all looked at me like, is that okay, Mom? And I was like, yes. Which of course means no. I don't want to go to a nightclub music venue owned by rock stars. Rock stars are notorious for alcohol poisoning, drug abuse, and sex stuff that is so weird the bluest of comedians probably hasn't heard of it. But we went. We crossed the River Liffey and got into Workman's, which at first looks a lot like the Grand Social. It's dark, smoky, needlessly loud. The girls order their drinks, and this time I do just get a water with lemon, just to start, don't worry. Which is good. Because when we get into the next room, everything is so bright and yellow and in motion. Oh my God, I'm tipsy. For the first time in my life, I am drunk off my rocker in a den of sin in a foreign country. This is not what we call safety, folks. And just as I'm coming to this realization, two men in Hawaiian shirts approach our group. Of course, I think, and I cover my water with my hands. I cannot hear a word these Hawaiian shirts are saying, but I can't imagine it makes much of a difference. They probably just want to dance. And just so you know, dancing is not about dancing anymore. Now it's all about sex. I now want to have sex with these gentlemen. Whatever happened to the mashed potato? Whatever happened to the pony? Now it's all pelvis and chest, pelvis and chest. And as I'm thinking about this, I hear one of the Hawaiian shirts say, well, this one's not impressed. I have clearly missed something. And so Amy yells in my ear, they're doing a magic trick. Okay. Sorry, I'm hard of hearing. Name a celebrity. Dawn French. Who's Dawn French? Who's Dawn French? Some people know her as the fat lady in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Others know her as half a British comedy duo, French and Saunders. But the most important people know her as I know her. The star of my favorite British TV sitcom, The Vicar of Dibley. That's who Dawn French is, you fool. And we met eyes. And we had an understanding. So he did another magic trick. And he disappeared. It was at that point in the evening that Amy looked over to me and said something along the lines of, you don't look so good, Tori. And so I responded something like, I don't think they're good, Amy. We should go home. So we did. We thanked Kimberly and Hannah for a wonderful evening, and we left Workman. Outside in Dublin at night, I suddenly wasn't afraid anymore. All of a sudden, I realized why people do this. Why people take risks and get drunk in foreign countries, and why we leave home. Everything was so beautiful here. Amy's face was so beautiful. The River Liffey at night was so beautiful. The people rushing in and out of pubs. The nighttime man who was walking towards us, he said, good evening, ladies. What a nice nighttime man. Good evening, sir. Oh, you're American. What are you doing in Dublin? We're studying acting. Thank you for your interest. Oh, you're actresses. Show me your angry face. And he started walking towards me. And just so he wouldn't get the wrong idea, I took a couple of steps back. But he kept coming forward. And he said, show me your sexy face. And just like that, I was afraid again. started to reach out for me. But then somebody across the street grabbed his hand and pulled him in the other direction. So I grabbed Amy and we rushed back to the hostel, and when we got back, what could I do? So I got undressed, I put on my pajamas, climbed to the top bunk, and put my head on the pillow. Mom was right. There are mean people in the world. But you know what? There are good people too. There's that mysterious person who grabbed the man from across the street. There's Amy, who made sure I was okay and fed me McVitie's double chocolate biscuits in bed. There's Kimberly and Hannah, who made sure I had a really nice time. And of course there's my parents, and without them I wouldn't be here. Not just like here in Dublin, but like existing in the universe. And then there's Dawn French. Thank you, God, for Dawn French.